Well, joining me by Zoom from Lagos is the President's Special Advisor on Economic Matters, Dr. Tope Fasua. Dr. Fasua, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Good evening. You know that the President of the United States, President Trump, has come up with these tariffs, and Nigeria has 14%, which is, of course, one of the lowest globally, but one of the highest if you consider African countries. Looking at what the government of President Tinubu has done in the last a couple of months old as a government, do you think we're in a good place to say that these tariffs won't affect Nigeria profoundly?
Okay, well, the thing is that, thank you very much for the question, but it's in two ways. In the first place, we look at what we sell to America, what we export to America. The trade volume is around $6 billion. However, the majority of what we sell to America, as at the last data that we have, is crude oil and gas. We have information that, in the first place, crude oil and gas is exempt from, the tariff, because the United States is exempting anything that has to do with fuel that runs industries and cars and so on from that tariff. That's one. In the second instance, we also understand that, look, we also have local refineries to take care of, and we've maybe not been able to find enough for them. For example, if all of them were running at capacity, and if some of the new ones like Bua Refinery come on board, our local production will barely be enough. So that's it. So we need to worry about the remaining. There are things like lead being exported to the US. There's also urea, which is fertilizer, being exported to the US, which makes up the remaining, let's say, 0.5 billion to 0.6 billion. That is a concern. However, mind you that the tariff that we're talking about, who pays now? When they say 14% tariff, what it means is that any United States entity that is importing from Nigeria will have to pay. It makes it more expensive. It increases. It has a chance of increasing inflation in the US. And that's it. But we've seen the way the market has reacted. This evening, I was looking at the news, and I think the European Union has made some initial move to reach a rapprochement with the United States by proposing a zero tariff both ways. But also, they've stated that they're also ready for an all-out tariff war or trade war, if that's the case. If that's what the US wants.
Let me come in here, Dr. Fasua. Let me come in here. The Nigerian government is saying that they are not going to go into any retaliatory tariff war with the United States. They will rather go through the WTO to see how they can reach a solution where that will be beneficial to the two countries. Is that the position of the Nigerian government, that whichever way it goes, they will rather just be negotiating? They won't take any action, any retaliatory action. Can you explain how that works for us?
Yes, invariably, I would love to quote my superiors on that one. There's a coordinating minister for the economy, who also is a minister of finance. There's a minister for trade. These are my superiors in the structure. And from everything they've said and the engagement so far, and also from our disposition ab initio as a leader in Africa and a respected country around the world, yes, we will not be getting engaged in any brickbats with the United States. I doubt if we will. Even this disposition of Mr. President is not like that. We have no need to do that. But I've told you, if and mind you, so we're talking about 0.6 billion of export to the US. Importation from the US is larger, much larger in terms of volume. From the last time I checked, it hovers actually between about 15 to about $20 billion. Of course, sometimes we do import, refined products from them, but also other materials that are sophisticated, like phones, cars, all those kind of things that are quite sophisticated across the board. So that's it. So I mean, well, back to your question, the initial question about how it's going to affect us. It is very, very important to note that the markets are tanking around the world. Initial reaction, hopefully the markets will settle down, because if markets don't settle down and people are predicting a recession, first in the US or even the global recession, that's where there'll be a problem in terms of really affecting us. Because if the global economy slows down, of course, crude oil prices have gone down. Well, it went down, but it went up about $2-3 today. We're monitoring that. We are hoping that the problem doesn't continue for too long.
It's okay. Dr. Fasua, I would let you go in a moment, but you've been trending on the social media because you said that there's no vacancy at Aso Rock and there are no candidates that can square up with Mr. President in an election in 2027. Please, can you just in 2 minutes tell us the point we are trying to make and why you think that there are no competent candidates to stand against the president?
Yes, I think for me significantly, because I believe that Mr. President is a unique leader. He's someone that has done what most other leaders in Nigeria have run away from in terms of a profound reform. And he's someone that is actually doing what is required for a much better future for Nigeria. You take the two key reforms in terms of the first one about the Naira, coming in to say, you know what, we can't continue subsidizing people who are arbitraging on the Naira, getting it at 460, offloading at 800 Naira. And then he decided through the central bank governor to reform that space. Today, yes, the Naira is weaker at about 1,550, thereabout. Sometimes it edges to 1,600. But we've seen a scenario where there's a convergence of rates, where even sometimes the official rate is higher than the black market rate, which hardly ever has happened before. And this has also spurred a certain kind of behavioral change by making Nigerians buy more local, think Nigeria, vis-a-vis what we had before, where everything was about importation. And this has also, unleashed quite a bit of liquidity in the local, in the state governments, even the federal government, and now he's also pushing the local government autonomy, which we have got through the Supreme Court, but that's going through a process now in terms of getting the signatories to those local government accounts. The second reform, which is even more profound, let me just land on this, which is the more profound, which is the petroleum sector reform. You can see what's going on. This has also released the subsidies that used to be hijacked from that trade. Is now going directly to the state governors and to the federal government, to the local government, and eventually it's trickling down to the people. So I think because of this kind of reforms, which we've gone through the worst of this scenario, and now we're getting to the point where it begins to deliver results. I believe that if we consolidate on those and form the people properly as time goes on, it will be impossible to remove Mr. President. And apart from the fact that the opposition, they really need to get their act together. There are a lot of very big people with big egos there. I say from my own little political experience that those gentlemen will find it difficult to come together before the next election in a way that will actually be formidable to remove Mr. President.
But a lot of Nigerians who will determine the fate of Mr. President in terms of voting keep saying that whatever reforms the president has put in place has not translated to making the cost of living lower, that the price of rice has not come down, the price of garri has not come down, the price of everyday commodities have not come down. So if these are the people that are going to determine who becomes the next president, do you think with all this not coming down, they will still be inclined to voting for Mr. President? Or are there other ways the president wants to come back to power?
So let me just say that, I just have my phone here. I just Googled food prices falling in Nigeria. And so empirically, I'll just tell you, I can see several, these days survey reveals sustained drop in food prices. This was as at 15th of March. Another report by Business Day says food prices drop eases cost of living crisis. That 20th of February. Nairametrics says Nigeria food inflation drops 23 point something percent as price pressures ease. That's Nairametrics. Daily Trust says that how Nigerians are reacting to falling food prices. That is 17th of February. For the past month or almost 2 months, we've seen sustained decrease in the prices of food. So that's just to say, empirically, it's there. For some reason, people is there, is staring at everybody. It's the elephant in the room. And well, maybe some of the food items that are staple food in Nigeria, maybe this is their season. One could investigate that. For example, you mentioned rice. There's a targeted importation, regime that we are in right now, where the government has allowed for people to import. And clearly, in fact, that has been very clear that it has reduced the price of rice, which is one thing that Nigerians consume a lot.
Okay.
So if it was based on food prices, and then again, inflation has dropped to 23.16% after being rebased anyway to 24.48. It dropped the next month. And with these food price drops and so on, we believe that even in the next month that's coming, the announcement that will come on the 15th of April, we believe that it will
Dr. Fasua, we are going to leave it
economic
there.
Indices. Yes,
we're going to leave it there. And I must thank you for your time. And
thank you.
I must thank you for your insight. And to say that it's a continued conversation. So I look forward to having you here again.